Welcome to the Get Back, music work talk in Central Texas, Fridays at 1 p.m. Brought to you by the Austin Federation of Musicians and with the Unemployment Compensation Advisory Committee. The Unemployment Compensation Advisory Committee are members of the Austin Federation of Musicians, Local 433 of the American Federation of Musicians, aka the Musicians Union. Some of us work as contractor 1099 workers, and others work as employee W-2 workers in various aspects of the music industry.
The goal of this session is to share our experiences, including trials and tribulations related to the Texas Workforce Commission, or TWC, with other musicians in the state of Texas to aid in navigating the TWC application process. We are not experts in unemployment assistance. We are musicians.
The information contained herein does not constitute either legal advice or an official pronouncement or a position of the Austin Federation of Musicians, but rather is only the personal opinions of the panelists. The panelists do not give legal advice or make official rulings on agency matters, should not be cited as authorities in any matter before the agency or when dealing with agency staff about a case, and must minimize their involvement with administrative processes. They also do not give legal advice on any other matter, and any information they should give should not be used as a basis for taking any employment-related action. Before taking any employment action that could adversely affect an employee, or before using any sample form or policy you may obtain from this group, you should consult a licensed, private sector, employment law attorney of your choice. All right, welcome to the Get Back for January 14th, 2022. I'm Aaron, and joining me are Mark and Russell. Thank you for being here, gentlemen. Yeah. We always start with the website links at the bottom. If you're watching us live, it has the links for contacting the union office and other useful links for getting back to work type of thing. And then if you're watching this on the archived version, below that are the links to the articles that we're actually going to talk about in the episode. So, and then we also usually start with beverages. I'm doing coffee once again. What are y'all drinking over there?
Good old green tea. I'm on same old.
Almost grabbed the wrong bottle.
Uh-oh, look out.
You almost grabbed the vodka, didn't you?
Oh!
That's spring water.
Yes. Yeah. Man, it is Friday, so.
It is Friday.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere,
It is happy hour somewhere.
You got that right. Oh, man. Yes, indeed. Well, all right. So, we got a bunch of stuff we can talk about today. But like we were just talking in the pre-show, maybe we should start with the new grant that came out on Monday. It's called the Austin Music Disaster Relief Grant from the City of Austin. It's a little bit limited as far as like where you have to live, I think. But what are you guys hearing about this thing?
I hadn't heard that much about it I heard about it in the meeting.
Yeah, I got an email about it a few days ago, and so I went ahead and applied.
Cool.
And it's pretty similar to the way the application was for the previous disaster relief grant.
I'm curious. Did you was the first you saw of it, Mark? Was that the email from the union office? Because the union office sent an email about it, but there are lots of other
see
ones.
that, but that wasn't the first I saw
Okay.
it. A friend of mine sent it to me.
That's good.
We both had applied last year.
Mm-hmm.
So.
That's it, man. Share the information.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty straightforward. You have to submit some documentation that describes your professional activities, over the several years prior to the pandemic. So.
Mm-hmm. And you have to reside in the Austin Round Rock Metropolitan Statistical Area. That's an interesting term, which includes Travis, Williamson, Hayes, Bastrop, and Caldwell counties. Our brothers and sisters in Lee County, in Llano County.
They're out.
Yeah, some of those other counties are not included. Burnett County, So, yeah, so that's an important thing to be aware of, for sure. But yeah, but how was the application? Um,
I don't really remember doing it a year ago when I did it the last time, but this one, it only took me maybe 45 minutes or an hour to complete the application.
okay,
And like I say, you had to, provide some kind of a resume, some kind of documentation of your discography if you're a recording person, and then, various things about how your work has been impacted by the pandemic and stuff like that.
and was that documentation, was that kind of what took the longest, or did you already have that together when you
Well, I
started?
had to go look it up again.
Yeah,
I had to go
yeah.
find it again.
And did you like upload like documents of that, or just provide links to
Yeah,
websites and things, or yeah,
both.
both?
I
Yeah.
did both.
Cool,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
No, that's good to know. I think that's a stumbling block for a lot of folks. They feel like that part's going to be really work intensive, but I don't think it is. I mean, because they have a big list of stuff that they'll accept.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Different formats also.
yeah, I think like a lot of these things, like you see that list and you're like, oh my God, I can't get all that stuff together. But you don't need all of it. That's just
Oh,
stuff
no.
that they'll
I think
accept.
I only submitted 3 documents.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think last time I did it, maybe it was 3 or 4. It's not that many. I mean, they just want to see that you make a majority of your income, such as it is, from being a professional musician or something.
Yeah. And when you do, it's not difficult to document that because that's what we're doing all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, good on you, brother. Yeah, I'm glad you got that in.
Well, I'll let you know how
Yeah.
it comes out.
Please do. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll be tracking it. It's the deadline is the 28th, so
yeah.
we've
A
got
couple more weeks.
Yep, a little more time to get that in. What date is that? Or what day of the week is that? The 28th.
So Friday.
So it is 2 weeks from today. Yeah.
Yeah.
So so we'll be probably hearing from folks about it over the next few weeks, and then hopefully we'll hear about folks that got it soon, either before that or after that. I guess I don't know. Is there any indication that they're going to start awarding it right away, or they're going to wait until the deadline?
No indication.
We don't know. Yeah.
It didn't say. I received an email saying that they had received my application, and that's it. No other information.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and the other thing that you had mentioned in the pre-show is that they asked if you had applied for a city grant before,
They did.
but
Yeah,
they didn't say why that was important. But
They didn't say why they were asking that, but I don't know if, I mean, my guess was that somehow if you had received a grant before, that might mean that you would go to the bottom of the list. But I'm just guessing on that. I really don't know.
right. Yeah.
But they did ask that. They asked if you'd received either the disaster relief grant or the creative worker grant
Okay.
last year. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. And the website, we'll have the website in the show notes, of course, for this grant. And way at the bottom, it does have, what is this thing? Application scoring matrix, which sounds very academic. But it has a little bit of info about kind of what the weighting of this different information is as far as their consideration of it. Oh yeah, it does have a little bit here. It's the grant application history. Previously didn't receive Austin Music Disaster Relief Grant and/or Austin Creative Worker Relief Fund grants up to 4 points out of 100, as far as how they're sort of weighting it. So that's a very specific number. I'm not exactly sure how that will apply to the real world decision that they're making on this, but that's interesting. So it's not super important, but they ask you it anyway, and so it does have a little bit of bearing. Yeah. So it looks like the biggest thing, 50 points out of 100 is the household criteria. So the combination of average annual household earnings, the applicant home address is located in a qualified census tract. Ooh, I'm not quite sure what that is. The number of years residing in the Austin Round Rock, Texas metropolitan statistical area. The number of residential moves due to economic hardship. Oh, that's it. Was that a question on there? How many times you had
Yep.
moved? Interesting. And
I think in
then,
the last 5 years or
oh
something.
wow. And then the last one on there is lack of access to a traditional bank or credit union. So that's got to be.
Yeah.
Well, we do know that East Austin specifically does have less access to those institutions. So because they ain't there, they're just not there. So that's interesting that they're taking. So that's part of that. All part of that 50% of the score. The scoring matrix. So we'll see how we do in the matrix, Bob. There you go, man. So, and well, I guess I could go through the other things. The work history thing is up to 20 points of the score. Lack of affordable healthcare access up to 10 points of the score, and then COVID related data up to 16% of the score. And that is COVID-related data is limited access to personal protective equipment, COVID-19 impacts, or increased cost to household expenses, increased cost of doing business, inability to make rent or mortgage payments, cancellation of events, ding, 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 pay salary cuts and or termination of staff / contractors, discrimination, ding, 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 losses due to unrefunded deposits, leases and other down payments. So all that COVID impact stuff is up to 16 points. So looks like the household stuff they're weighting that higher. But yeah, interesting to know. But like you were saying, it's limited to $2,000 per musician. So I think the best advice is just to get an application in, right? Because why not? It doesn't take that long. And
Yeah, it's definitely worth it. I mean, the last time I got a grant, but I also knew several people that didn't. So and none of us could quite figure out why. So
Interesting.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, cool. We did hear from a musician that had trouble because they knew they had an account either from last year or from a previous thing, and they couldn't get the password renewal thing to work.
They couldn't access it.
Yeah, and
I talked to them.
Oh, you did? Okay, yeah. You don't talk about it? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So that do you know if they were able to do it?
They were.
Oh, good.
Yeah. If we're talking about the same person, they actually ended up just using a different email.
Oh,
address
okay.
or something.
And just
And
create
got
another
in
account. Yeah, that's
as
one.
a new person.
That's one solution. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, cool. I'm glad they got through it, and yeah, we'll check after the broadcast to see if we're talking about the same person. But yeah, excellent, man. Yeah, that's the thing, man. Just keep. Let's just keep talking about it. That's where we lose is when we don't communicate about it amongst musicians. So. Awesome, man. All right, well let's go on to some other topics. I wanted to mention there's an article today in the Statesman about Marble Falls Independent School District closing all schools Friday due to staff shortages amid COVID-19 surge, and that's kind of what we've been talking about here. Is the government is not mandating any closures of businesses or school districts or anything, but some of them are having to close anyway just because they can't. Too many of their staff are sick, and that's unfortunate. That's kind of where we that the lockdown closures from last year or 2 years ago now. I mean, that's what that was trying to prevent. So this thing is really affecting a lot of people. But
well, you knew when they started asking parents to come in and start substitute teaching. Somebody's not being honest.
Yeah. It's interesting. Have you guys heard about any other closures of school districts around this area?
Yeah, there's supposed to be a walkout planned here in Pflugerville.
Wow.
By the students or the teachers?
I think it's the students.
Yeah,
Really?
there's several places where students are threatening to walk out
Yeah.
because the testing is not up to snuff.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah. In the national news, the Chicago school district, the students are talking about doing that too. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, the
Yikes.
teachers were on strike, and they just settled that.
They just settled it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all about testing. I mean, we just don't have enough access to testing, and that's kind of fouling up everything. If we could just know, if we knew, whether or not to go to work or not, yeah, it's so difficult to get a test right now. Well, that leads to another thing that was another topic that was sort of in a different order here, but there's an article in the Statesman from today again about, is your at-home COVID-19 test real? Know how to spot the fakes and where to find tests. So some of the at-home tests are fake. There was a news report last week on ABC in Chicago. Because I follow those folks for some reason. I can't even remember why. But there was a news report about fake testing sites in Chicago.
Yeah.
Where they set up a storefront and they take down your social security number and your name and your address and your dog's name and all this, and then they stick a thing in your nose and they never call you again. And so
Yeah, one thing to be aware about that, for any musicians that are traveling, is that some of the traveling restrictions actually require you to have a test that is read by somebody other than you.
Right.
Really?
Right.
Ah.
So,
Right.
I mean, I found that out with this cruise that I'm supposed to be going on, and they don't accept a home test for that very reason. So
Right.
you have to make an appointment at a CVS or a Walgreens or somewhere and get a test that somebody actually reads.
Other than
For you.
yourself. Wow. So that means they've already dealt with people like faking tests and stuff.
Sure. I mean, yeah, you can just say, yeah, I passed it.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and the stakes are high when you talk about travel, right? Because then your ticket is fouled up. You have to rebook your whole travel
Yeah.
itinerary.
And that was true the last time I flew also, that they would not accept a home test.
home
You had
test.
to go to a place and get the test. But
So-
there are also some home tests that are affiliated with entities out there on the internet where you submit your test results to them and they verify it.
Oh, okay.
So that's another way to go. But that costs money.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and there are also the home tests where you like administer it and then you mail it,
That's what, well,
Yeah.
or you do it online.
and they read the
Yeah.
result there. They actually do the test there with
Right.
your gunk, I guess.
Your liquid.
Yes. Oh man. Wow.
Somebody other than you saying you're all right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's an excellent point, Mark. So, like, what that really means to me is that the increasing the number of at-home tests is not the only solution here, right? I mean, we need the at-home tests, but we also need not at-home tests too. We need better
Yeah.
access to, actual official tests that we can use as official documentation for things like travel. Yeah, absolutely. Musicians need to travel. Because we do. That's just always been a part of it, right? Man. Well, this article is kind of interesting because it has a list of FDA-approved companies that make at-home tests. So you can kind of check the label and see. But the list is only good, of course, for today because it's not updated. But they have a link to the FDA website that apparently the FDA is going to keep updated on which companies are making official at-home tests. There's actually the list is pretty long. I mean, there's like, I don't know, 25 companies on this list. So I wasn't aware that there were that many companies making these things, but yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, yeah, man. So I think that's one of the problems. I don't think it seems like they're not making enough money, but they should be. You would think, but yeah. I don't know. I mean, we don't want the cost of the tests to go through the roof because of the demand, right?
Sure.
Well,
So-
aren't you now supposed to be able to get 8 tests a month through your insurance or something like
Yep,
that?
and the article references that too. Where is that? Yeah, you're supposed to be able to submit the receipt for the purchase of the test to your insurance, and they're supposed to cover it.
I thought you could also get 8 tests directly from your insurance company.
I don't know.
Isn't that true?
I think it
thought
depends on the
I thought that's
company.
I thought that's what part of Biden's announcement was. So, in other words, you can get them from your insurance company, or you can buy them and get reimbursed.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean that
Is
would
that-
be much better for the insurance
Yeah.
company because then they could buy in bulk.
Yeah.
But I don't see that. I don't see that as existing right now. But that could be something that will exist in a few days or next week or something. I can
Yeah.
see that. Yeah. So.
When they ship you your mask, they can ship you your test.
Yeah. Right. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Well, they said they have a surplus of those, and so here's the test, here's the mask.
They have a surplus of masks. Did you say?
Mask. Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? Okay.
Mhm.
Interesting. So that leads to the next topic. That's amazing. Great transition. There's another article about know the type of masks and why cloth masks are out for Omicron. And it talks about N95, KN95, and KF94 masks. I don't think I've come across a KF94 yet. You guys have any experience with those?
Mm-mm.
No. But it's just we've already talked about this on this show, but just that yeah, like they're just a piece of cloth across the face is not really
Yeah, it's
enough
not
anymore.
cut.
Yeah, so yeah, but it has a couple pictures about how the mask is supposed to fit, and where it's supposed to make a seal and all this stuff, and yeah, and the last part is, can you rewear a mask? Oh, I don't even want to read this part because I've been reusing masks all over the place. But what does it say? Unlike cloth masks, you are not going to wash a surgical mask and an N95 or a KN95. You can rewear them, but you should put them in a paper bag for about 2 days between uses. Paper bag?
Yeah, I was going to say that was on the news yesterday.
Was it?
You sit it in the paper bag, and it was supposed to be okay to do that.
That's
It
what
wasn't the best thing for you, but it was better than nothing.
That's what I do with my peaches. The same thing works. Yeah, that's great, man. So okay, that's interesting. I didn't think I wanted to read that paragraph, but now I do want to read it. Okay, but man, so we'll put that in the notes as well. And that that's good information for us because we can't do our work mostly without going out amongst the people. So. Yeah, man. The next topic I had was the blood bank is really low, and so they're looking for donations, of course, of blood across the county, and it doesn't say this in the article, I don't think, but I had heard a couple weeks ago that if you were having trouble getting a COVID test, that if you gave blood, they give you a COVID test before they take your blood.
Wow.
So
Which would make
that's
sense.
yeah. If you got a gig and you want to be sure that you're negative for COVID, that might be one way to do it, and also give some blood, and you might be a little lightheaded, but that may lead to some new universes musically or something. You never know. But
You remember they did that for AIDS testing.
Yeah.
You would, if you couldn't afford to go get an AIDS test, you'd go and try to give blood, and they would either qualify you or disqualify you based on the preliminaries.
Yeah.
Yep. But then the whole thing got hung up because they wouldn't accept blood donations from certain people.
Right.
Which and that's actually, I think that's still an issue today, which is sometimes it doesn't seem like it's 2022, and sometimes it's too much 2022, right? I don't know. But let's see what else. There's an article The headline is Austin Public Health, Travis County offer free vaccination clinics through Monday. Now, I thought they had free vaccination clinics, had been having those. So does that mean they're ending on Monday? Have you guys heard about this? What's going on?
Mm-mm. No, I haven't heard about it.
They're not supposed to be in those anytime soon, from what I understand.
Or maybe
They're
these
still
are
on the city's website.
maybe these are extra.
They move them around though.
Yeah, maybe these are extra ones or something. It says Saturday clinics include Pfizer for ages 5 and older. And it lists the different what they have. Which if it's Pfizer or
Yeah.
Johnson & Johnson or Moderna, and it just lists.
Yeah, they
the
move them
location.
around from different sites, but they're ongoing.
I see. But yeah, I wouldn't think that they were going to end on Monday. It just says through Monday. Maybe just they're listing the locations.
Yeah, I think Russell's right that the locations change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think this article is really about the scheduling, but it makes it sound like it's going to end on Monday. But I hope that's not the case, because we want everybody to get that vaccine, man. Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of which,
Oh, look at that! What'd you get there? You got a? Is that a? Oh, look at that! Where'd you get that from? Look at that, man! That's happening. Very
see?
stylish. Yes.
That's cool.
That's a card keeper, huh? Like a.
So show your union membership pride.
Mm-hmm.
Flip that bad boy over, and there it is.
Oh man, that's great, man. I like it, and it keeps it from getting frayed. Mine is getting all frayed on
That's
the
right.
edge, the top edge.
Yeah, because they don't want you to get those things laminated.
Nope.
Because you might end up getting more.
Yep. Might have to get it updated.
Because
yeah.
there is a talk of a fourth vaccine in the pipeline.
Yep. Yeah. I've heard that they'll give you another one when you go for your booster. If yours is real dog-eared, they'll make a new one for you that has your previous ones on it, right? But yeah, it's getting kind of shaggy. We'll see. But yeah, that's a really good thing though, brother. I got my phone case has got the vaccinated union member on it, but I don't have that one. That's a good one, man. I like that. Right on, man. Well, a lot of folks have been talking about and there's a newspaper article about this, the Queer Eye show filmed in Austin, and one of the people that they mentioned is a musician, a rapper named Blacklight. So that's in the paper, and that's cool. And Blacklight, if you're listening, we'd like to talk. Yeah, let's talk with you. We love to talk with you about the union, yeah. So
Call us.
Kinda
Call us.
What's that?
I said call us.
That's
We can
right.
be reached.
That's right. Yep. Yeah, man. Just to mention there. Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Center also closed due to staffing shortages. So that's like an involuntary closure. Again. And yeah, geez. I don't know. Anything else we should mention this week?
The city website, the money's not there for rent help.
Hmm.
Yeah, it still says they're out, right?
I went and looked, and I actually went and spoke with. I guess I shouldn't be dropping names, so I won't. And the money's not there, and it's not coming back for a while.
Really?
Why? Do you know why?
They wouldn't go into detail, but it's not coming back for a while.
But you can still get on the list.
You stick it on the list
to be notified.
I mean, it'll eventually come back, but it's not coming back for a while.
Really? Okay. Man.
Which was kind of disheartening.
Yeah. But maybe they're gonna revamp that system to make it easier, like they did in Harris County, or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too optimistic. But,
I hope so. I mean, it's a good plan. It's a good system, and it's the political system. It's things are in flux now. So
yeah, that's true.
We'll see when the smoke clears what happens.
Yep. Yeah. But yeah, definitely a program that needs to continue. especially where we're at, our industry is at, right? I mean, we're seeing rolling cancellations and closures, and of course, well, I guess we should put that article. There's a article a couple of days ago in the Statesman that we talked about at the executive board meeting that the Omicron surge, the Austin public health folks are saying that we probably haven't reached the peak. It's probably going to be another 2 weeks before we see the peak of the Omicron surge in Austin. You guys heard about that? Heard people talking about that?
Now people are scared about that.
Yeah.
I think I had at least 4 different conversations on Wednesday just about that article. But
Well, it seems like we're behind some of the other larger cities that are saying that they think they may be reaching their peak now,
yeah,
and then it's gonna tail off. New York, Philadelphia, Houston.
yep,
But I think we're behind that curve.
yeah,
I think our weather has a lot to do with that.
Yeah.
We haven't had the cold weather, which is allegedly the breeding ground for the big surge.
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah, yeah, but it has been just cold enough to where our outdoor gigs are not as not as prevalent, not as
Right, yeah.
comfortable, and not as prevalent. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
We do have the cedar thing working, and that has not been a lot of fun.
No, yeah, the cedar is definitely out. Yeah, yep. Yeah, that's no joke. And then yeah, then there's the whole problem of like folks are having the cedar fever, and they don't know if it's COVID or cedar fever, and yeah,
And they don't want to find out. Like, please
Yeah.
go find out.
yeah. Oh, jeez, I know.
There's
Yeah.
a big difference.
Yeah. Or use a home test and find out, but then you got to
Yeah.
get a hold of a dang home test. And yeah, it's a precarious position that we're all in, and I've talked to musicians that are, try to schedule, get on the schedule for the appointments for tests, and those are scarce even in places where they weren't scarce before, and they thought they had it figured out, and I can go to this location, and then oh no, I can't get a test in time for my gig or whatever, and yeah.
Hmm.
The CVS is right around the corner from me, and it says no test available.
Really? Wow.
I've never seen that since I've been here. I've been here for 18 years, 19
That's
years.
weird because I just went online a half an hour, 45 minutes ago to schedule a CVS test, and there were tons of appointments available.
Well, I think what Russell's talking about is probably a sign on the store, right, that says no test
Yes, on the
available
store.
to walk in.
Oh,
Like you
I
can't
see,
walk
for a
in.
walk-in.
and get
I
it.
see.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
But yeah, that's how you need to do it. Is get on the schedule, get an appointment. Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, I know Mark, you've been working that system the whole time. Didn't you go out to like Bastrop one time to get on the schedule?
Well,
for
that's
something?
where I got my vaccines.
Oh, that's right. That's what it was.
Bastrop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Some
Because that was the only place to get them back in January.
cross county.
Nobody else had them.
Yeah. Yeah, I did the same thing. I went out to where did I go? I went to where'd they get the tomatoes from? I went to Rockdale. I went out to Rockdale. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, I got lucky and ended up at the football center over there. Off
Oh,
of
yeah.
the drive-by place, and like hang your arm out the window.
Hey, that's a good way to do it, man. I mean, yeah. If you can get through it pretty quick. Yeah. Man. Jeez. I guess you're limited to only your left arm though, right? Unless you got
Well, they were pretty nice. They said we'll do either arm you want, but you just have to sit here till we're convinced that you can drive.
Oh wow! Oh yeah, yeah. Because you might get a little dizzy from it, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
You have to sit here till.
God
Which-
bless.
I have no problem with that.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Oh man, that's like the blood donation thing.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. Well, what's the before we wrap up? I mean, what's the prognosis as far as cancellations? I my stuff's been canceled the next like 5 or 6 days. How about you guys?
Well, I had one today that's gone.
Yeah.
I one on the calendar tomorrow that's still there.
All right. Let's hope. Yeah. What about you, Mark? Any data?
I'm supposed to work tonight and tomorrow, and then I have a recording session on Sunday.
Okay.
So far, those seem to all be happening.
Cool.
Give me another chance at catching Omicron.
Oh, I know. Yeah. But it's possible. You know, we've got the AFM protocols for recording studios. You know, you can always send that ahead and say, hey, how about we do this? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I did hear from our brothers and sisters in Atlanta, actually, some of my friends in Atlanta, and they got together at their local office and kind of came up with sort of some protocols for Georgia, just kind of in response to Georgia's, similar to Texas, like there's no government requirements for any kind of restrictions, so they kind of came up with a sort of a set of things to ask employers about as far as safety protocols and stuff. That looked kind of cool, but it's mostly just those AFM studio protocols that we've been working on, you know, since 2020. So, yeah, man, jeez, it is scary going out there, though, man. And I know you're playing wind instruments, so you can't have a mask on the whole time. So
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I put the horn down, I mask up and sanitize like crazy, and then get out of the club.
yep,
That's
yeah.
That's all you can do. Yeah.
that's all you can do.
I remember a musician I was working with last year a couple of times had like a squirter bottle, you know, like you would use for watering plants. He had it, but it was full of hand sanitizer, and he would like point it at people. He was like, do you need some of this? You want some of this? You want?
Whoa.
And he would give you a squirt if you wanted it, but he was like pointing it at people like a, you know, sort of.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to make him a very popular guy.
No, I don't think it did, but I thought it was hilarious. But but anyway, yeah. So there's definitely stuff we can do. But yeah, just be as careful as you can. Yeah, jeez. You know, and yeah, make sure that the spacing is good, because obviously a recording studio is not outside; that's inside, right? You know,
Yeah.
so yeah. Oh man.
Well, it's quarters usually.
Yep. Yeah. Doesn't have to be though. There's some big studios in town.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. But oh well, we'll get there. Yeah. All right. Well, anything else we should bring up before we get going?
I think
Can't
that's
think of
it for
anything
me.
else.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Well, you, the listener, if you're watching this, please like and subscribe. I think we're still creeping up in our subscribers, but we have to get enough people subscribe to our YouTube channel so that we can change the name of the channel to something that makes sense instead of just like 24 random characters. So we're almost there. We're actually getting pretty close. But so like and subscribe and tell your friends. And if you, the listener, the watcher, are in the music business, don't give up. We are getting through this thing, and we're getting back to work by sharing information and respecting each other, and getting back. So we'll see you probably. Actually, I think we're gonna have to go. We'll have to go in 2 weeks. Yeah, because next week I'll be at the AFL-CIO convention. So we'll be back on the 28th, if that's all right with you guys. Are you going to be in town for that, fellas? Not to put you on the spot.
I'm in town on the 28th, but I may not be able to come to the meeting because I'm getting on a plane.
There you go. God bless, brother.
Yeah, I hope.
Yeah, I hope so too.
So I may miss that.
I hope so too. But either way, maybe me and Russell will see you on the 28th, and let's keep on getting back, and we'll see you next time. Take care.
Okay.
Bye.